Another episode of me rating your Diamond Dynasty teams is here, and we have 5 more teams to be rated. If you don't know how to be featured in one of these episodes, make sure to go follow me over on Twitter and over on Instagram and DM me 2 pictures, one of your starting rotation and one of your pitching staff. I pick 5 random teams every single episode, rate those teams on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you're excited for the video, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it, and make sure to go follow me over on Twitch because we've been live streaming a ton of MLB The Show 22 content over there. And if I don't rate your team in one of these videos, you have a chance to be rated live on stream. You can also put your team in the chat. If I have time to answer some questions, I will definitely help you out with anything I can over there. But I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Minika, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so high, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
All right, everyone, here we go. 5 more teams to be rated in Diamond Dynasty. If you don't know the deal by now, need to be following me on Twitter or Instagram. Send me 2 pictures, one of your starting lineup, one of your pitching staff, your rotation, your bullpen, rated on a scale of 1 to 10, then give the team an overall grade. So make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Links are in the description down below. At VinnyKa for the most part. The first team, though, gonna come from Anderson here. Very solid squad. Whenever you have a full team of face of the franchise cards, for the most part, it is going to be a very solid squad. Then he has a couple of studs, top 3 at their position, that also stick out besides those guys. We have 94 overall MVP Kirk Gibson from the Dodgers collection. Very good card. Then we have 91 overall Ali Rutschman behind the dish at the catcher position. Top 3 catcher in the game. But let's break down some of these face of the franchise cards. Really like Devers. Great power bat, great swing. Little bit of a defensive liability at the hot corner. So what I would try to do is probably either replace Devers or Crone at first base and then play a more defensive third baseman at the third baseman spot. Ernie Banks is really solid. The new Eddie Matthews is very good. So I think there are better options than 91 overall Jose Ramirez now that are better than Rafael Devers, in my opinion, at the third baseman spot. Seager, love him, but I'm not the biggest fan of his defense. I see you have Lindor on the bench. Personally, I would put Lindor at shortstop, move Seager over to second base, and Jazz would go to the bench. Because of lack of defense from Seager, really wouldn't want him playing shortstop. Defensive liability, would rather have him at second base, but Seager and Jazz middle infield, not horrible here. Then we have parallel 490 overall Mike Trout on the outfield and Luis Robert. Gibson is great in the outfield. Trout I really like, even the face of the franchise cards, the top 5 center fielder in the game. Robert, very underrated in my opinion. Really good swing, great contact against both sides, extremely good against lefties, very good speed, very good defender. Really like the squad. It is very solid all around. You don't have any holes anywhere, just upgrades can be made to some of the better live series cards, collection rewards when you have the stubs to get them. But I really like the squad. I am going to give it a solid 8.3 out of 10. So the offense was very solid. This is going to lead me to the rotation and the bullpen, which I also think at first glance looks really solid as well. So the rotation up first, we have Keuchel, Logan Webb, Corbin Burns, Randy Johnson, parallel 4, Casey Mize, parallel 2. So the rotation, you have a lot of solid pitchers here. You actually have 2 of the top 5 pitchers, in my opinion, in the game in Dallas Keuchel and Corbin Burns, especially if you're playing on a higher difficulty. If you're playing a Hall of Fame or on Legend, Dallas Keuchel is elite. Corbin Burns, honestly, good on every difficulty. Logan Webb, probably borderline top 10. Randy Johnson, I personally struggle against him. 6'10", funky release. I feel like he's in your face when he releases the ball, so I struggle against Randy. I know some people don't like Randy, but I don't like facing him. I think he's very solid. Then Casey Mize, I do think he's BP, so he's somebody you could replace, in my opinion. Think there's better options than Casey Mize. Have a lot of pitchers that I think are better than him. Have some videos on that. Definitely recommend checking that out if you're looking to replace Casey Mize. A lot of options I think are better than that card, but the rotation, very, very solid. I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10. And then we have the bullpen, which I think might be the best part of your team so far. Jose Alvarado, the new 93 overall Zach Britton that is absolutely elite. Best reliever in the game, in my opinion. Billy Wagner, Chapman. So you have 3 lefties, which is great. They're all elite. Chapman's very good. Might be the best lefty reliever in the game besides Britton. Britton is the best lefty reliever in the game. Alvarado's very solid as a lefty reliever. And Billy Wagner, very solid as well. Then you have 4 righties that are very good too. The new Michael King. The movement on that slurve is ridiculous. This card is very good. Emmanuel Clase. If you're playing someone that can't touch the fast stuff, Emmanuel Clase is going to mow them down every single time. Devin Williams, you have that movement pitcher with the excellent pitch break. Then you have the Sandman, the best closer in real life of all time, 91 overall, Mariano Rivera. I am going to give the bullpen a 9.2 out of 10. Overall, I think your team is a high 8. Going to give it an 8.7 out of 10. Next squad up is going to come from B. Zoomin, and B. Zoomin, a no money spent team. That's a very solid squad that we're looking at here. Lindor, Tatis, Mookie Betts, Manny Machado, Sean Murphy, Brian Reynolds, Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge. Very solid squad, but I do think there is room for improvement. I also see you have Tony Gwynn on the bench because his power is like 30, but other than that, he's an end game card, but I wouldn't use him either because he has absolutely no power. But you have Tatis and you have Machado here. So we have Lindor, we have Mookie Betts. I would probably play Lindor at second base. Lack of arm strength there, very good defense though, so I would try to play Lindor at second base. Mookie Betts got nerfed, went from an 88 overall to an 85 overall, so I probably wouldn't want to keep Mookie Betts on my team any longer. I think you can either do better at third base or second base, depending on where you want to play Lindor and then wherever you want to replace Mookie Betts at. That's what I would do, get somebody better for third base or second base, whatever you want to do, whichever position you want to upgrade there, especially on the left-hand side of the field when you have Tatis. Because Tatis is a defensive liability on the left-hand side of the infield, you want to pair him with somebody that's a little bit better defensively than Lindor because of lack of arm strength there. So if you're going to move Lindor to second base, you want somebody good defensively at the third baseman spot to help out Tatis. Manny Machado at first base is an interesting play, is a very good, well-rounded hitter, but I want somebody that's better than him hitting-wise at my first baseman spot. Somebody with better power, better contact, especially against Rays, that's going to mash in my lineup here at the 4 spot. Sean Murphy, underrated catcher in my opinion, probably top 8 at the position. Very good power, very good defense, some of the best defense you're going to see at the catcher position. Really like that card. In the outfield there we have Brian Reynolds, Byron Buxton, Judge. I would probably try to get rid of Buxton and Judge, even as a Yankees fan. Not the biggest fan of Judge's live series card. Too big of a strike zone in my opinion. Buxton, haven't been loving the swing, but Brian Reynolds is super underrated. Good contact, plays above the stats power wise, and then very good defender with very good speed. So I probably would replace Buxton and Aaron Judge, but the team, the offense is very solid. I am going to put it about a 7.9 out of 10. So the offense was solid. Now we're going to move on to the rotation and the bullpen. First 2 guys in your rotation, very good. Both borderline top 10. Corbin Burns, borderline top 5 starting pitcher in the game. As for Kershaw, Walker Buehler, and Rodon, they are decent budget options, but the live series Kershaw, the live series Rodon, I don't really like those cards too much. I feel like we went just for a diamond rotation here, but there are better budget diamond starting pitchers that you can actually get that are better than Kershaw and better than Rodon. They both don't have great pitch selections, don't have great stats, don't throw the ball particularly fast, so I probably wouldn't go with them. Walker Buehler, on the other hand, great pitch break, really good pitch selection there, so I'm fine with Walker Buehler being in the rotation, but definitely go check out my budget pitchers video where you can get better diamond starting pitching if you want to get that full diamond starting rotation and get rid of Kershaw, get rid of Rodon in my opinion. So I am going to give the rotation here a 7.1 out of 10, and then the bullpen could definitely use some work. You have Chapman, and I think that's the 85 overall carry wood with Dibble. A lot of upgrades to be had here in the bullpen. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Definitely go check out my pitchers video. Overall, gonna give the team about a 7.1 out of 10. Next team up is gonna come from Music Enthusiasts with a lot of parallel 5 cards. We have parallel 5, Josh Bell, Jazz, Luis Robert. We have Corey Seager, parallel 4, parallel 2, Adley and Nolan Arenado. Grady Sizemore, one of the first appearances for Grady Sizemore. Great card in the AL Central collection that you can get right now. That card is elite in the outfield, might be a top 10 card in the game. Aaron Judge in right field. So here we go. Arenado, great defense. He might be getting an upgrade soon next Friday in the roster update. He might even be getting the player of the month card, which we're going to be dropping a video on either today, yesterday. Not sure exactly when I'm dropping this video, but there will be a video on the April player of the month program, and Nolan Arenado might be getting an April player of the month card. But his 90 overall live series, great defense, solid hitter this year, especially against lefty arms. Corey Seager, love the swing, talked about him already. A little bit of a defensive liability, but you did boost up his defense a little bit having him parallel 4, Jazz parallel 5, so that card's going to be insane. Love it at second base, even though I do like Lindor better. Parallel 5 Jazz, you can't take him out for Lindor at this point. Parallel 5 Josh Bell, switch-handed bat, great contact, great power. I love the way the parallel 5 superfractor cards look this year with the glow. Even parallel 4 looks sick. Really like what they did with parallel 5s this year. It looks insane. Really like Josh Bell there, top 5 first base in the game. Adley, we talked about him enough. Great card. Everybody should have Adley on their team at this point. Grady in left field, love it. Top 10 card in the game almost, in my opinion. Luis Robert, very underrated, parallel 5, great hitter, great fielder, great defender there, great speed, love that card. And then Aaron Judge again, a little bit of a big strike zone, but if you're doing good with him, keep rolling with Aaron Judge. So what do we want to rate this team? This offense is very good. I'm debating around the 9 mark. I think I'm going to give this offense an 8.8 out of 10. So the offense was very, very good. The rotation looks excellent as well. Another parallel 5 card. This time it is Shohei Ohtani's live series card, Dallas Keuchel, Max Scherzer, Corbin Burnes, and Alek Manoah. You have 5 of possibly the top 10 starting pitchers in your rotation here. I really like Ohtani at the plate, but I'm not a big fan of him on the mound. But you have him parallel 5, so you must be pretty good with him on the mound to get him parallel 5. Keuchel is elite, like I said, especially on Hall of Fame or on Legends. Scherzer's probably about that 8 or 9 mark, top 10 starting pitcher in the game. Nothing too crazy, but a very solid starter. Alek Manoah doesn't really have a signified strikeout pitch in my opinion, but he is parallel 4. I do know a lot of people like this card in the game. He's borderline top 10 to 15 in my opinion, and Corbin Burnes is elite, so I really like the rotation. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And then the bullpen, we have Michael King, Chapman Hader, Lee Smith, Zach Britton, the new 93, Jose Alvarado, Devin Williams, and Steve Cishek. Maybe replace Lee Smith if you want, and Michael King is filthy, but you probably could do a little bit better than him, and maybe a little bit better than Jose Alvarado, but again, very, very good bullpen. I'm going to give the bullpen an 8.9 out of 10. Very, very good team. Overall, going to give your team an 8.9 out of 10. Next squad up is going to come from Batman himself. Bruce Wayne has submitted his team to rating your teams in Diamond Dynasty. Batman is in the house, and he has a big face of the franchise team here. We have Devers, Lindor, Acuna, Cody Bellinger, Brian Reynolds, then the 88 Jackie Robinson, the Miguel Cabrera, and the Francisco Alvarez cards. We talked a lot about some of these face of the franchise cards already. Devers, great bat, little bit of a defensive liability. Maybe get a better third baseman defensively than either pick Miggy or Devers to play first base for you. Lindor, great defender, glitchy swing, switch-handed bat. Would prefer him at second base though. Jackie Robinson, not the biggest fan of the free 88 overall card. He has a very good bench bat against lefties, but I probably wouldn't start him on my team. Acuna, if you're playing on All-Star, is great because of that great power. He's a little bit of a defensive liability though, but he does make up for it a little bit with his speed. Not the biggest fan of Acuna's swing though, not gonna lie. Bellinger, Reynolds, love them. No holes in their game. They are both very good at the plate, very good defenders, and very good speed. So I do like those cards in your outfield. And then Francisco Alvarez behind the plate. Probably not even a top 10 catcher in the game if I'm being honest. So you probably could upgrade your catcher spot a good amount. I also see you have Haniger on the bench. Maybe he can go in for Ronald Acuna in my opinion. I think Haniger is actually better at the plate. But it's a very solid squad. Couple adjustments to make, and then obviously upgrade some of the stud live series cards, collection cards when you get some more stubs. I am going to give this offense about a 7.8 out of 10. That's going to lead me to Batman starting rotation and bullpen. We have Randy Johnson, Alek Manoah, Jack Leiter. We have the new Mackenzie Gore and the Eric Lauer from the Tops Now program. So the only 2 pitchers I would actually keep here in the rotation is probably going to be Randy, Alek Manoah. I don't really like the Gore, don't really like the Lauer. The Jack Leiter's okay, but when you get more stubs, go get the Logan Webb, go get the Marcus Stroman, go get the Corey Kluber. There's so many better budget options. The Greg Maddux I think is better. Bob Gibson's even better. A lot of better budget diamonds in my opinion. Obviously Corbin Burnes if you can afford him. Walker Buehler I think is better. Go watch my budget diamond pitching video for you. That would really help out your starting rotation. But as it stands right now, Johnson, Manoah, not bad. Jack Leiter, the other cards, not a big fan. Going to give that about a 7 out of 10. Let's give it a 7 out of 10 flat. And then the bullpen, we are going to have Michael King, Rob Dibble, Garrett Whitlock, Mo, Brian Wilson, Chapman, the live series, Lefty Grove, Class A. So you probably have 4 good relievers in here. Dibble is solid. Grove is okay. Class A and King are elite in my opinion. You need more lefties that are better than just the live series Chapman and Lefty Grove. In my opinion, go get the 90 overall Chapman. Go ahead, get the Alvarado from the Tampa Bay Rays collection. Go get the Billy Wagner. He's not that expensive. A lot of better lefties that I recommend you go get into your bullpen, but I will give the bullpen about a 6.8 out of 10. So I think the team overall probably going to be a 7.4 out of 10. And the final team of the episode might be the best team we have had in the series so far. And look at the squad in front of you from Ryan, who said he's had incredible pack luck, wanted to be featured in the episode. And once I saw this team, I said, how could I not feature him in the episode? Take a look at this. This is going to be, I think, a 10 out of 10 team for the first time in rating your teams in Diamond Dynasty so far in MLB The Show 22. Pretty much has the best player at every single position that you can have right now in the game. He has almost every single top 10 card in the game that you can. The only card he doesn't have is the 96 Joe Mauer, but he still has the 96 overall Gary Carter. That's very close behind Joe Mauer as the best catcher in the game. But we have live series Vlad, Tatis, Acuna, Mike Trout, Roberto Clemente. Maybe if you wanted to have the 94 Kirk Gibson, you can, but obviously he has that card because he has all the live series done. He just doesn't want to use that card. Also the 95 Albert Pujols if you want to go that route as well. But Clemente, Frank Thomas, Chase Utley, Gary Carter, I'm going to give this team, I know I like Joe Mauer a little bit better, and maybe a little bit better Kirk Gibson over Ronald Acuna Jr. I'm going to give this team, or the offense at least, we'll have to see what the pitching has, a 10 out of 10. Also forgot to note that Ryan is also no money spent. If you can believe that, he's had insane pack, like he says, some of the free packs that he has gotten. But take a look at the rotation and the bullpen here. The bullpen might not be a 10 out of 10. So that might be the only reason why this team overall might not wind up being a perfect 10 out of 10, but it's still very good. But take a look at this rotation. Randy Johnson, Messina, DeGrom, Keuchel, Ohtani, probably 5 of the top 10 pitchers in the game, 5 of the top 8 or 9 pitchers in the game. I would prefer Corbin Burnes over Messina. I know that's crazy because Messina is a 96 overall. Burnes is only an 89, but Messina's hits per 9, Ks per 9 too low, and Corbin Burnes also has outlier. Their per 9 stats very similar, but I do like Corbin Burnes' cutter a little bit better. I like his outlier sinker, but Randy, DeGrom, Keuchel, Ohtani, all elite, but I'm still going to give the rotation a 10 out of 10. A parallel 5, Messina will definitely help out with that. Then the bullpen, we're going to have Kenley Jansen, parallel 5, Class A, Hader, Rizal, Jose Alvarado, Ottavino, Joe Nathan, Tom Hankey. It's an excellent bullpen. Don't get me wrong. You could use another lefty here. You only have 2 though. Go get the 90 overall Chapman. It is a very, very good bullpen, but there are some pieces you're missing. The Mo, the Cishek, the new Zach Britton. So I can't give the bullpen a 10 out of 10. I think I'm going to give the bullpen probably about an 8.7 out of 10. Have to be fair here, but I love the offense. The rotation is excellent. So overall, I'm going to give the team a 9.7 out of 10. All right, everyone. That's going to do it for the video today. The new episode of me rating your Diamond Dynasty teams is now in the books. If you didn't get featured in this episode, don't worry. Gonna be doing a ton of episodes over the course of the entire year. But if you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.